What is going on, my dudes? We are in a new location, which is crazy. We just finished moving, and we got to move again in a couple of months. We're in a rental right now, but I am struggling in the last couple of weeks to keep the videos going because moving is a lot of work, and so this is just going to be a very, very tiny, very, very short video, something that I can post by tonight, so I don't miss 3 Fridays of videos. Because 2 weeks ago, we had Overland South, so obviously you saw the post on that, and then this last week has been in the process of moving. So, we're working on Blue today, my 2012 Mazdaspeed 3. Obviously, this is already installed. There's really no point in showing you the install process because it's legitimately 2 bolts. I'm just going to show you what it looks like. So, flipping you around here. Don't worry about all of the pollen and stuff in here. It's pretty gross and needs to be cleaned. That's besides the point. Why are you greasy and oily? I don't know. I gotta look into that or something. Maybe it splashed from like up here. Whatever. Point is, we're talking about this right here, and I guess we could talk about this too, even though the screw is backing out. These are vanity plates, so there's really not a whole lot that goes into it because it's literally there for vanity. It does nothing else other than look pretty and get covered in pollen. But this is your high pressure fuel pump vanity plate. Now, I bought this from somebody off of the internet. I don't remember the name of the company that makes these. I'm pretty sure they're not in production anymore because the Mazdaspeeds are no longer in production. But it was just a neat little addition. So you have 2 bolts right here that unscrew. I forget exactly what size this is, but if you have an Allen key set, I'm sure you'll figure it out. And the important thing to note is that this left screw is actually the ground connection for the high pressure fuel pump. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit more detail from the past me when I was working on this and didn't do an intro, as I seem to do a lot. But I just wanted to show you that is your high pressure fuel pump vanity plate. Looks super cool. One of these days I'll get it powder coated to match the future color of the valve cover, which is not going to be that really weird teal. And then I'll probably get this stripped and powder coated the same as well, or maybe I'll make that gold. I don't know. I'm kind of going for a Subaru vibe. Blue and gold, just like a Subi. But yeah, so there you have it. Nothing crazy, super easy. And it just cleans up the engine bay a little bit. Gets rid of the eyesore of a whole bunch of wiring. So I like it, and hopefully you like it too. Short video. Hopefully next week we'll be back to our regularly scheduled broadcasts. I am going through the process of digging through our storage unit to find where the heck my desk microphone went, because I need to record all the voiceovers for the 4-part series that's going to be coming out, hopefully starting next week, from my trip to Alaska last summer, so like 8 months ago. It's been a little while. It takes a long time to edit these things. So if you're interested in that, stick around. If not, you should just watch it anyways, because it's cool. But there's that. Here's me talking about other stuff. Let's do it. This bolt right here is connected to the ground for the high pressure fuel pump. So when you install this plate, you need to make sure that that ground is one, very good, meaning like sand down if it's corroded or rusted or something, sand a lot of the corrosion and the rust off of it so it can make good contact. And 2, this kit included a couple of washers, which I was assuming was there in order to keep all of the parts and pieces held together while you like put it in place. But that washer is going to act as a barrier for the ground, because this bolt actually kind of helps to squeeze all that together and give it a little bit of extra chance for continuity of ground. So make sure that this is good and grounded, because otherwise your engine won't start, as it happened to me. Also, if you want to check to make sure this is a good ground, you can take a multimeter on your resistance setting and you can touch it to this bolt, or this plate, really, because this plate should be grounded, to anything else that's metal on the car that's touching the chassis ground, aka the negative terminal of the battery. As you can see, the battery's not installed right now because I'm doing some other stuff, but this is a ground point because this is the negative lead that goes to the battery. So from this point, or the negative lead, to here should read 0 ohms, or 0 on your resistance setting of your multimeter. The more you know if you're not an electrician and you don't do things with electricity all the time. Anyways, I just wanted to say that because I was scratching my head for a minute after I installed that thing and the car didn't want to start. It was very strange. It just kept turning over. And I was like, huh, sounds like no fuel. Anyways, that's that. Moving on. Yeah, so like I said, make sure that you have a proper ground through that bolt and the little retaining washer, whatever you want to call it. Not a washer, it's like a gasket, little O-ring. There you go, it's an O-ring. Will break your ground connection, and then your high pressure fuel pump won't turn on, and then your car won't start. So make sure that you pay attention to that. But with that, short video. I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you have any questions, drop them down below. I'm sorry, I cannot tell you where this came from originally, because like I said, it doesn't exist anymore. So if you want one for yourself, good luck finding it on the internet. And no, you can't have mine. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to live from dusk till dawn.